Here. So welcome everybody to the Be the Sniper or Be the Target webinar. It's your choice. Make it today. As always, we've got to pop up our disclosures here. Trading involves risk. Make sure you know what you're doing before you do it. And so ETX, somebody's already asked, what does ETX stand for? Well, it stands for Enhanced TX Trade. Okay. If you've been with us, if you've gone through the training, or if you've been with us on these kind of, basic tutorial webinars we've been doing where we've been simplifying the trades, you should be familiar with what the regular standard filtered TX trade is. Okay. Well, let's just take a quick. Okay, if you're not sure what TX is, okay, make sure to go through the training courses and the other webinars. Okay. All right, stands for a trapped Xbox trade. Okay, so let's kind of just take a quick rewind here. All right, to our basic TX trade. Okay, and what a basic TX trade is when we've got the exhaustion box, which is denoted by either a green box or a red box, right? We've got the exhaustion box, and then we have the blue shade, which stands for, trapped orders. And just to do a quick review here of what that means, is the exhaustion box shows us that there was exhaustion in the bottom of this bar on the selling side. We see how it tapered off here. Okay. And basically what that's showing was the market was pushing down, 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 and then there was exhaustion in the strength of the selling here at the bottom of the bar. And then the market reversed and went the other way. We've also covered what is trapped orders. Why is this blue shade here considered trapped orders? What makes that special? Well, and we've talked about that, right? We've got a bar coming down, a bar coming down, a bar coming down. And I've asked you all this question before in the past when you were trading, whatever system you were trading. You weren't sure about an entry, or you entered late, or you would say, okay, well, there's a reversal in the market, but is it really going to go short? I want a little bit more confirmation, right? Let me just wait one more bar to see if it's really going short. Okay, looks like it's picking up some steam. I want a little more confirmation before I get in. Okay, another bar closes down, and then you enter your order to go short with the market, right? You've all done that before, don't lie. Whatever strategy or system it was, we've all done that. I've done that in the past, right? Okay, I think I want to go short. Let me just wait. And I just want a little more confirmation. Is it really going short? Yes. I enter short. I enter to sell. And then immediately what happens? And you think the whole world is against you and it's a scam and they're out to get you. Soon as you enter short, boom, the bar reverses, goes the other way, stops you out. We've all been there a million times, right? Well, if you've been there and done that, don't you think that tons of other retail traders just like you and I are doing the same thing, right? And we don't want to follow the path of the retail traders. We want to follow the path of what the big boys are doing, what the market movers are doing, right? So let's talk about this. Why do we call them trapped orders? Okay, well, on these order print bars, and again, this is a quick review, the left side of the bar here shows the number of contracts sold at each of these price levels. You can see the price levels over here, right? But each of these price levels shows the number of orders. So take a peek as these bars are coming down, right? 42, 60, 46, 81, 68, 44, boom. What do you see right there? 377. 775, 445. You see this massive amount of sell orders coming in right there. You see it? Like order prints lets you literally see it. Do you see that big massive amount of orders that come in there to go short? Right at the same place where we just talked about where you would be going short as a retail trader after you're like, well, here's a bar. Okay, maybe one more. Now I'm feeling good. Now I want to get in. And then what happens? Boom, it goes the other way. And you felt like you got trapped, right? Like they were out to get you. So everybody see that. You understand what trapped order is. And look how it just drops off. 377, 775, 445, bam, 48. Okay, right? You see that? Okay. And so what we're looking for here with an exhaustion box is to show that there was exhaustion and a declining orders in the bar. We're combining that with looking for the trapped orders, which is all of those retail traders piling in, and then the big boys rejected it, saying, boom, look at all these buy orders that come in, the market goes the other way. We don't want to be part of these trapped sellers down here, do we? We want to be able to wait, see the exhaustion on the box, see the trap, see the bar going the other way, and we want to have an order waiting right here to go with that rejection and go with that momentum the other way with the big boys. Right? Everybody understand that? That's the basics of what a TX trade is, an X box with trapped orders inside of it. Okay? So, that's just a quick kind of review there. Now, think about it like this. Yes, on this particular one here, also notice how this bottom price level is shaded orange and has an orange line. That's called a paw print. Okay? It also happens, you can't really see them both, also happens to be a mini magnet on this bottom price level as well. So not only do we have trapped orders in this bottom part of the bar, we have an exhaustion box showing us towards the bottom part of the bar there was exhaustion. We also have literally this lowest price point shows us rejection and push away with a mini magnet. Also happens to show us a paw print which shows a weak price point. So can you see how adding that to everything we just talked about, not just everything going on in the bar, but that bottom area being weak and rejected and it's shooting off from there, can make that a higher probability trade. Okay, so our normal filtered TX trade, again, stop and think about it. What are we really trading here? We're looking for exhaustion and rejection in the market, right? We're looking for those trapped orders combined with exhaustion. We're trying to identify that weak area in the market and trade the other way, because we want to follow where the strength of the market goes. We don't want to trade the weakness, right? We don't want to buy at the top and then it reverses. We don't want to sell at the bottom and then it reverses. We want to seek out that, weakness and exhaustion and rejection, and we want to take advantage of it and follow the market instead of fight it. So that's the basics of William, exactly. We're buying the retail traders, the trap traders, we're buying their stops. Exactly. Yep. So that's the basic filtered TX trade that you should all know. So now the next level, what is the ETX? What is the enhanced TX trade? Well, in addition to all those benefits we just talked about of the regular TX and taking advantage of that rejection and exhaustion and weakness in the market, in addition to that, we want there to be a paw or a mini magnet, okay, at the bottom or top of that bar, depending on if it's an up close or down close bar. So not only do we want to have exhaustion box and a trapped order, we also want there to be a paw or a mini magnet on that reversal bar. So now we're not just taking advantage of the overall exhaustion down there, but also specific rejection at that price level. Okay, so we want either a paw print, which shows us a weak specific price level, or we want a mini magnet, which shows us rejection and push away from a specific price level. Okay, so you understand how that kind of adds to everything there, to where we're not just, we're not just taking advantage of, like right here, a chart I have in front of me, we're not just taking advantage of there being an exhaustion box at the top of this bar and there being trapped orders at the top of this bar, but there also being a rejection point at this very topmost specific price point of weakness. So it's kind of like a double whammy there, right? Not just exhaustion and trapped in this section of the bar, but actual weakness or rejection at the very tip most. We let it close the other way and we ride with that momentum. Makes sense? And so if we're looking to add that in, of wanting that specific, price level, being able to push away and reject off of that, it's always best for us to have something to springboard off of as well, right? We've talked about this with some of our other trades, okay? So think about it. We've got our TX, plus we've got a mini magnet or a Paul, plus we want it to be pushing off of an already existing OP level that's already there on the chart. So we're adding now another layer, right? Because you get the TX, we're adding that TX does have a mini magnet or Paul, and we're adding that it has to be pushing off of an existing order prints level. Okay? And that existing order prints level is already there from the past, right? We know how powerful those are, right? We know that those levels, crap, hold on. It does this to me sometimes when I'm trying to bring over a screen during a webinar. But we know that those existing order print levels on the charts that are plotted to the left or plotted to the right into the future mean something, right? That means that was an important level there. Be aware of it. We know that, like this mini magnet right here, it plots out into the future. We know to be aware when the market comes down to that. We know that they're important. So if the market comes down to it, or look right here. See this orange here, this orange line? Right here? That was a Paul print. It was made back here and it's going into the future. And right there at that level, so we know when we're coming into this level that that's an area in the past that was weak. That was area in the past that got rejected, right? Meaning we know that it's been weak right here once before. We know that the market has been rejected right here once before. Yes? Everybody get that? Because that Paul print's there. So when the market comes back to a level where it got rejected before, where it got weak before, and right there at that previous level of weakness, what do you get? You get exhaustion box. Okay, what are you thinking in your head? I mean, just very elementary, basic here. This price level was weak in the market before. This price level got rejected before. It was not strong here. It was weak here. And as the market comes into it, I'm seeing that the market's getting exhausted right there. That alone right there should tell you something, right? Hey, it might not break here. It might go the other way. Trend could be weak there. This could be a stopping point, right? In addition to that, you see sellers piling in like crazy right here at this weak area. Not real smart, right? First of all. But you see sellers piling in like crazy, getting trapped right here at this previous weak area. Yeah? And then you see the bar start to go up and get rejected. And then what do you see happen right here? Just a couple ticks away from the previous weak area. It plots another, or one tick away. It plots another Paul print right there. Also happens to be plotting a mini magnet right there. And then goes the other way. Does that make logical sense why that's powerful? When you're combining all of those? A previous weak area, a previous rejection area. The market gets exhausted when it gets to that previous weak area. Look at the number of orders here, right? 105, 81, 45, 67, 55, boom. 700, 850, 643, 343, 60 week rejected. Even all these big orders coming in, all these sellers coming in trying to push through this weak area got rejected. They got trapped. The market bounced off an existing level it was already weak from. It lays another paw print and a mini magnet, giving you like now a double and triple springboard with exhaustion, with trapped, going the other way. So does that make sense why having that previous order print level there is very important? Because it was already a weak area. Now we want it to lay another paw or mini magnet within 2 ticks of the same area to give us like a double springboard. Got it? That makes sense kind of what's behind it and logically why. So we're putting our TX, we're adding on a mini magnet or paw, okay? Which we've covered in previous webinars what mini magnets and paws are, okay? So we have the TX, we're adding on the mini magnet or paw, pushing off an existing level, now making a new line that creates another level, and that just creates a higher probability, okay? So right as all these trapped orders and exhaustions coming in, we're laying a new level in the wall, a new level of weakness and rejection, and we just want to go the other way, right? Not just randomly anywhere in the middle of the pool. We like to have that push off from, we like to have something to push off of, right? We're going to get a lot more momentum pushing off of an existing wall, especially when another wall gets laid right there and another trap gets set right there for the retailers, for the big boys to push the other way. Make sense? Why we're combining all of those things there and why they're powerful and why, you know, the biggest reason I do these webinars like this, guys, is because, and I think I've said this before, but and y'all are not children, I'm not saying that, but it's like what I like to do with my children, you know, of, no, you can't go play in the street. Oh, well, dad's just being old, mean old dad with rules. Instead of sitting down and, look, let me explain why. Why is this rule here? Let me show you what can happen to you. Let me show you some YouTube video. Let me show you, like, do you understand how bad this could be? Oh, okay. Because once they understand it, they'll take that, they'll remember that knowledge with them anywhere they go, not just at the end of my driveway riding their bike, but when they're down the street and when they're around the corner, right? Or, you know, whatever rule it may be of, yeah, sometimes I just, well, no, here's the rule. Well, why? Well, because I said, right? We all do that, because I said, just deal with it. But I like to explain it as well, because then it's like, oh, that makes sense. These aren't just some random rules that Apex came up with. It's not just some random, oh, well, this little moving average crossed this one, so I guess let's go. Like, there's specific reasons, and you can't see it without literally seeing this order prints chart. You can't understand the why and see for yourself the pressure that came in and got truly rejected and pushing off the other way off these hidden levels, why you want to be in right there to sling shot up. Okay? So that's why I do some of these like this, is to help you really understand the why and what's behind it. Because for one, it'll make a lot more sense. For two, it'll make you want to follow the rules. It also helps you read the market better and recognize what's going on, right? Because like the first time you watch the training for ETX, you're probably so focused on, okay, there's got to be TX, there's got to be a mini magnet paw, and it's got to be this level. And you're so focused on, okay, is that a mini magnet or paw? Is there another? And you're not stepping back to look at, oh, I see what just happened there. Now I get it. I can read the market. I understand why that's happening. I understand why I want that trade. I can see. I understand there was a weak area there from the past. and I'm seeing it coming up to that weak area, and I want to know if there's going to be weakness that happens again because I want to get in on that one. Like you can look at it in a whole new light, right? So let's look at a couple examples here. Notice you've got your black detector down here, which alerts you to, a couple different types of TX trades, potential TX trades. So what do we have right here? We have a ZOI. See this greenish color block here? That's a ZOI. We have the market coming up. We get a reversal bar, down close bar. What do we have at the top of this bar? We've got our red exhaustion box. See the blue shade in there? We've got our trapped orders. And then what is printed at the very top there? That orange print up there, and it comes out here. We've got a paw print. Does that look to you like what we just discussed? A reversal bar with a TX on the top of it that has a mini magnet or Paul at the very top within 2 ticks of an existing order print. It reverses. Do you want to be in? Do you want to have an order waiting right here 1 tick below to take this trade down? Yeah, you do. Right? Everybody see that? Okay. Now, what about over here? We've got an alert. We've got a detector. Market's coming up. We've got a reversal bar down. We've got trapped order. We got trapped order here in the blue. We've got an exhaustion box right here. Yeah, just a few ticks away from this paw print and ZOI. There's 2 things stacked up there. We like that, right? That there's a double stack. Oh, we like that. But do we take this trade? Is this an ETX trade? Now, not saying that you might not take it as a regular TX trade, but is this an ETX, an enhanced TX trade? Right, because there's not a paw print or a mini magnet at the top. Okay? A lot of you have been confused of, well, an ETX just means it's close to an existing level. Well, that's only half of it. It's got to be within 2 ticks of an existing OP level and have either a mini magnet or Paul at the top. It can't be one or the other. Okay, so you see the differences there? One has a Paul print or mini magnet. One does not have a Paul print or mini magnet. So I'm not saying it's not a valid TX or double TX, but it's not an ETX because it's missing that Paul print or mini magnet. Right? A couple of people are saying, ah, yes, okay. Got it. Okay. All right, so yeah, the red X up there is an absorption X. We don't use that for this particular trade, but we do talk about that in some of the order prints. Okay. All right. No, deviation reversal color does not matter. You do not have to follow the color of the DR for an ETX trade. A regular TX trade you do, but not an ETX trade, and we'll cover that a little bit too. Okay. So, what do we have right here? We see our detector. Market's coming up. What do we see the market coming up into? We got a white line here and a white line here. What do we have? We have 2 mini magnets. That's already 2 double mini magnets is already a pretty, good level that you'd be looking out for, right? Pretty nice level to bounce off of. So the market gets up here. This bar is reversing. What do we have at the top of this bar? We've got we've got exhaustion box. We've got a trapped order in there. And then you see the Paul print right on it. And the bar reverses down. Do you want to be in on this trade 1 tick below this? Do you want to have an order waiting to take that trade? Hell yeah, you do. Because you've got a reversal bar. You've got a TX trade. So you've got exhaustion and trapped orders up there. And it's laying a Paul print designating that's a weak price level. It's laying a third line of bricks where 2 bricks are already laid. You absolutely want that, don't you? Okay. The cluster itself does not fit in to the ETX trade, okay, or as part of the rules, Shane. But from a market reading standpoint, okay, and I don't want to go off too far here, but does everybody see why that, okay, step back. Does everybody see why this trade is so powerful? There's existing order print levels. You got a reversal bar with a TX and it lays a mini magnet or Paul. It's like 3 levels you're bouncing off of now. Several confirmations. Okay. Now, what if this reversal bar did not have a Paul or a mini magnet? Is it an ETX? No. Is it still a TX trade though? Yeah. Except for the fact that it's not with DR. Right? Okay. But, so just a little quick market read here, going back to Shane. Shane, the cluster and double clusters do not affect the ETX trade. But from a market read, okay, let me get off track a little bit here. Let's step back a second here. So we all see the ETX, yes? Existing levels, lays a new level, exhaustion, trapped, reversal, we love it. But what else can you see here? Well, let's look at the cluster. What does a cluster mean? A war, a battle, a high volume area, markets coming up, markets coming up, markets coming up, markets coming up, boom, a battle's happening. Where is the battle happening? Right at the lines that are drawn there. That's a brick wall. And there's a battle trying to push through that wall. Now, I don't want to confuse this with, other trades and other Apex systems, but so I hate to even use this term, but remember when you were a kid? Remember that game you would play called Red Rover? Right? Where you've got the line of people there, and you try to break through them, and you push through that one area of that line of people and break through and see if you can get through them, but you can't get through them. What happens? You kind of push into them, they bend a little bit, and they push you back. You know what I'm talking about? Like Red Rover? So Shane, no, the cluster itself doesn't have anything to do with the ETX rules. But can you see how it is a extra confirmation when you're reading the market that even with a battle right there, what happened to the battle? Look at the battle where it is. There's the battle. Boom. Battle got what? Exhausted. Battle got trapped. Battle got Paul print weak area. Battle got rejected, went the other way. You see that? So that was a great question. Now, what about some other type of trades we've talked about, like SLZ trades? This is not an SLZ trade, but think about some of the things we talked about in SLZ. Look at this last up close bar before the reversal. Star, right? Momentum star, pushed in that level with momentum. The last push of momentum into it got rejected. What do we also see up here? 5. What do we call that? Low volume score. Okay. This is not an SLZ trade, but there's parts of the SLZ trade that you can see right there, right? So you're going into this existing level With momentum, it can't make it. With low volume score, can't make it. With a cluster for a battle, can't make it. Lays another paw print, comes down. You don't get more stack the odds in your favor than that. Agreed? And what's the question we always ask? Is that a possibility trade or is that a probability trade? Who can tell me this? What would Mama Bear Lori in the elite trade room probably call that? What does she call those? Exactly. She calls them no-brainer trades. You ever wonder what Lori means by no-brainer trades? Everything we just went through there, not just the ETX itself, but those other things all combined, the ETX, the double mini magnets, the cluster, the star, the momentum, you get why it's a no-brainer, right? Okay. So again, these aren't just random made-up rules. There's reasons behind them that are powerful. Are you guys getting that when I do these kind of what's behind the scenes? I mean, do you really get that? Is it sometimes an eye-opener of, oh, right. You'll also notice that there's a couple of different rules that we'll get to in a minute where the ETX has some different rules than your regular TX. But you can see now why, right? Because there's a little more oomph behind them. Okay? All right, so let's move on here. I got a little bit off track there, and we're going to blame it on Shane for asking about the cluster. But that was actually a great question, Shane, because it set up a great little lesson there of reading the market and seeing the whole picture. Don't be sorry, Shane. I'm just messing with you. It was actually a perfect setup for a little lesson there that I think all 200 and something of you could benefit from, right? Where you start to look beyond just the little rules and see everything that's going on and read the market. Okay? So here is a big thing that I've seen some of you get confused on. The existing level, it cannot be just any line or level. It must be an existing order print level. It can't be a dynamic level, can't be a deviation level, can't be some other level. What we're looking for to bounce off of is an existing level, and it must be an order print level. Okay, does everybody understand that? Okay, and it cannot be far away from it. We want it to be close to that other level. Okay, no, not a wall. We want it to be close, like we're building a wall or building a stack there. Okay, so it has to be, meaning the mini magnet or the paw has to be within 2 ticks or less from an existing order print level, meaning a mini magnet, a ZOI, a paw, or a block order. Okay? And if any of you are wondering, wait a minute, hey, I'm not sure if I know the difference of an order print level or a not order print level. Okay, I'm going to tell you exactly how to find that out. You go to the sniper page, you scroll down here to number 8, webinars, click it, go down to section D, click it, and you go right here. Understanding levels on the sniper chart. I did a whole webinar on it. This webinar shows you everything that is not order prints. This next webinar, understanding order prints on the sniper chart, shows you everything that is order prints. So I separate them out for you So make sure to watch those videos there. But it's literally mini magnet, existing mini magnet, existing ZOI, existing Paul, or existing block order. Okay? And those are all covered on the video there. Okay? So, because there's been some confusion about that and people taking ETXs off of random deviation levels or random flux levels or This is a specific order prints trade that we want it to smash up again against an existing order prints level and see that the order prints volume book rejects it again. Make sense? Because we want that existing level to be there. And we've talked about this before, right? Sometimes one little level doesn't mean much. Just like one little twig, you can take it and break it in your hand. But when you put a whole pile of them together, you can't really break them, can you? We want that one stack of something to already be there. We want to see another stack built on top of it. We want to help put another mini magnet or Paul on top of it and combine some exhaustion with it, combine some trapped orders with it, bounce off that thing. Right? Makes sense? You get the visual of what we want to be there, and we want it to come back and lay another one there. And then trap people at that wall, get exhausted at that wall, go the other way. And we don't want to be the people smashing into the wall. We want to spot all that weakness, spot all that rejection, go the other way with the big boys, right? So, right here, got our detectors. We got a down closed bar. We've got red exhaustion box. We got trapped orders in there. What do we have right here? That white line. We got a mini magnet, right? Is that an ETX? Do we take that trade as an ETX? Is it bouncing off within 2 ticks of an existing order print level? Some of you saying yes, some are saying no. No. This right here is an NQ wall. Is it a mini magnet? No. Is it a Paul print? No. Is it a ZOI? No. Is it a block order? No. So it does not count as an ETX. See, some of you got tripped up on that. And it's easy to get tripped up, right? Because you see the trapped X box. Oh, and there's a mini magnet on it. Oh, that's an ETX. A TX trade that has a Paul or mini magnet, that's an ETX. No, that's not all the rule. It also has to be within 2 ticks. That Paul or mini magnet has to be within 2 ticks of an existing level, but an existing order print level, not just any level. Is that an aha moment for anybody? Especially those of you that are new, like, oh, okay, that's where I was getting that wrong. That's where I was getting it wrong. I was thinking it just had to be a normal TX with a Paul or mini magnet. Or I was thinking it could be a Paul or mini magnet, but could be coming off any level. Or I thought it just had to be a TX off of a level. Right? Like I've seen several variations of confusion on it. So it's got to be a TX with a Paul or mini magnet, and that Paul or mini magnet has to be within 2 ticks of an existing order print level. Clear as mud? Got it? Yeah, and Tammy says, hey, I think it's just getting used to the meaning of the various lines and what they represent, training the eyes. 100%, Tammy. Especially, if you're new, like that is one of the harder things is to distinguish what are all those lines. Okay? And I know some of you might not have gone back, but for those of you that were, how many of you can tell me? For those of you that were on those first couple webinars I did, were on the first webinar I broke down the non-OP levels and showed you what they were. And then in this one, I broke down just the OP levels and showed you what those were. I cleared everything off the charts and just kind of focused on those to help you be able to, you know, learn to get a good eye of what they were. That should really help you. So make sure to check those out. Okay. So, is an ETX and a DTX the same? No, they're completely different trades with different setups and different rules. Okay. So the DTX is a double TX. It just happens to be where two TXs are close together. Okay, has nothing to do with the existing order print lines or the mini magnet and Paul. Okay, Paul print. So make sure, you know, to watch that video separately on the DTX. Okay, so again, the reversal bar must have a mini magnet or Paul on the reversal TX bar. It cannot be just, I think I've already covered this. It cannot just be a TX on an OP level. It must be a TX with a mini magnet or Paul on the actual reversal bar, plus be within 2 ticks of an existing or OP print, stacking the odds in our favor. Right? Possibility versus probability. So right here, we got an existing ZOI right here. CR detector for the TX. Got a reversal bar right here. It's got an exhaustion box on it. Got the blue trapped orders right off of ZOI. Bar closes up. Do you take that trade? As an ETX? No. Is there a mini magnet on the bottom of this bar? Is there a Paul on the bottom of this bar? There's not. What about over here? Paul print right here. So there's an existing order print. Comes down. Reverses. Got exhaustion box. Got a trapped order. Within 2 ticks of that existing Paul? No. Because there's not a Paul or mini magnet on this bar. Now, could you have taken that as a regular TX that's going against the trend because there was ODD divergence right here? Yeah. But it's not an ETX. So it wouldn't follow any ETX rules. It would follow the ODD rules. Yes, Frank. Yep. Yep. These can be ODD. These detectors here, the black ones, could be ODD, or they could be HD. They could be ETX. Yes. Okay. It's just letting you know that, hey, there's a reversal bar forming that has a trapped order and an X box on it. You have to look from there to see what rules it meets. So you see how these could trip up some people, especially if you're new, like, oh, there's one and it's coming off a ZOI. That's it. Oh, no, it's not. Oh, look, Paul print. Oh, no, it's not. Doesn't mean it's not an ODD or a different type of TX trade, but it's not an ETX without everything lining up. So I know I'm going through several examples here, but I've seen a lot of confusion on it. Okay. Same here again, right? Got a reversal bar. It's a TX trade right at this ZOI. You're going to have to remember, there's not a Paul there. Same here. It's coming back close to this Paul print. Reversal bar with a TX. Even got our detector. That's not an ETX because it's missing what it needs there. Okay? So, just quick review. What are we looking for? Trapped X box. Requires a Paul or mini magnet. 2 ticks or less from an existing OP level, a mini magnet, a ZOI, a Paul, or a block order level. DR is not required. DR does not have to match the direction of the trade. And we just discussed that the detectors show us black, okay, to show us a variety of, different TX trade possibilities. So trapped X box, reversal bar, DR is not required. Got that. As usual, we don't want to trade into our normal major 5 levels, okay? Notice what is not on here on this list of obstructions. Do you anywhere see it say you cannot trade from Coil Chop? Do you anywhere see it say that if there's double clusters, stay out? You don't see that rule, do you? So if you have a ETX trade and you've got 2 clusters within 3 bars, can you take the trade? Yes, you can. Oh, geez, John. Another one that's got different rules. Why? Well, think about what we just went over. We know that a cluster is what? A fight, a battle, a war, right? So are we really that worried about there being a problem because of clusters? We just had a conversation about how cluster, let's say there was a cluster on this bar as well. So that means there was a double fight. And with a double fight, it still couldn't break that. It got weak, it got exhausted, laid another level, and went the other way. We want to go. Right, because there's a lot more other things making this trade a higher probability that we don't worry about double clusters. And we're not worried about 2 or 3 bar chop. Like or you don't really want to take these in like what am I trying to say here? We're not worried about Coil Chop, okay? There's no rules against taking it in 2 to 3 bar chop, but I wouldn't take it in a ranging 2 to 3 bar chop, meaning 2 to 3 up, 2 to 3 down, 2 to 3 up, 2 to 3 down, and it's been happening for a while. If it's just like right at the start of it, that could be the breakout. That makes sense when you're coming up to this level and laid another level, and that could be the push out of that. But if it's ranging 2 to 3 bar up and down, it's been doing that for a while, no thanks. I don't want it myself. You know what I mean? Because that takes away from some of that probability that was stacking up the other way, in my opinion. Right? Okay, so we already looked at this trade, right? Existing ZOI, market comes up to it, trapped Xbox, got a paw print on the top. We want that trade coming off of there. Lining up all of those rules there. Okay, another one here. We spent a lot of time on this one. I'm going to like it even better if it's coming up to an existing OP level that's a stack of existing OP levels, right? That's when our probability is even higher, and I'm looking to channel Lori and think about no-brainers. And as always, it's the same entry as all of our other trades, same exits and profits and stop losses as all the other trades. And as always, if there's something in the way, a tick or two between you and your profit, get out early. Focus on scalps, combine it later with simplicity for some trailing trades. So, did that help clear up any confusion or clarify some rules and help you understand why? Do you have a better understanding of the ETX now? And why it's there? And why, because of all those probabilities are setting up, that's why it's a little bit different rules. You don't have to have DR in the same direction. It's okay to take it with double clusters. It's okay to take it in Coil Chop because there's so much of a higher probability there, and now you know why. Yeah, Mike, exactly. It shows the importance of the zones and the areas together and how stacking these things on top of each other, you know. Tammy says, hey, this might be a question for another type of training, but when is it too late to enter the trade? Well, Tammy, as you see one of these trades setting up, okay, pretty much any of these trades, but, you know, you get that detector as this bar is forming. Like, that detector will tell you, you know, before this bar is closed. And you should have an order waiting right there, one tick above. And if the market moves past and you don't get filled one tick above, it's too late. Okay, the whole point is getting right in at the top of that bar, having the order waiting there to be, as it's coming up, it picks up your order and then you're out 2 bars later. Okay, so if you don't get in right then, it's too late to get in after for one of these traits. Okay, there's some secondary entries that Daryl talked about yesterday, like for simplicity with the LREs, but on these sniper trades, the TX and ETXs and all those trades, you want that order waiting there ahead of time, 1 tick above. If you've missed that, then you've missed that, and wait for the next one. There's going to be plenty more. Okay? All right, guys. So I hope that was helpful to you. I'll get this video recording up here just a little while later. Once again, do not wait. I don't want to see you pay more after Friday. Take advantage of those Apex specials. They're up here at the top under sign up for any plan or product. Take advantage of the monthly plans, the annual plans, the lifetime plans, whatever it is. If you need some Markers Plus software, get it. Watch discounted. Get those Lilu discount codes in there for account funding. Take advantage of all that. Okay, so just go. You can just go through the step-by-step training, and it piece by piece. Don't skip over. Don't miss videos. Go through each training video section by section, step by step. It'll get you all set up. Your charts, your platforms, and everything. So, all right, guys. Do you feel pretty confident that you can hop in the elite room tomorrow morning and spot ETX trades a little easier? You think you can be active and be part of the room, be part of the community, and call them out? Just type them out going, hey, possible ETX trade. There's a mini magnet right there. This bar's starting to reverse. It's going to leave a paw print. I got a detector. Hey, guys, everyone else in the room, heads up, ETX, ETX. Ooh, great. Like, be a part. Call them out. Start to, start to spot them and get feedback of somebody saying, oh, nope, that's not one. Oh, yep, that is one. Oh, that's a great one. Jim, you're welcome. Jim says, hey, thanks, John. Excellent instruction. The fog is lifting. That's the whole point. Like, that's exactly what I want to hear is, okay, the fog is lifting. Okay, it's starting to become clear. Some light bulbs are going off. I'm starting to get a little more clear view of what this is all about. I told y'all from day one, the very first webinar of, guys, I get it. This Apex crap's confusing, isn't it? Right? You open this Apex chart and you're like, what in the world am I looking at here? All these lines, what is this? Come on. Like it's a lot. And that's all we're trying to do. Just break it down piece by piece and say, hey, it's not as difficult as it looks. Also, how many of you have been with us here for a month and a half of this open house? How many of y'all like are new and just been here for a month and a half? Do you remember those first few days looking at these charts? You're like, yeah, I don't know if I want to do this. I don't know if I can do this. This is just too much, right? Like, oh, this chart, whew, I don't know about this. Yeah? This is just too much, and this order print and these levels, what? Now that you've been with us all this time, could you ever possibly imagine pressing a button for a trade with your live money if you didn't have the Apex order prints and the levels? Like it should scare the hell out of you to ever think about placing a trade without seeing what order prints and these levels tell you, right? I mean, does it? Like it should. Vivian's laughing like, haha. And I don't mean that as a sales pitch. I mean that like for real. Like it should scare the hell out of you to think about that, right? Like, how could I have ever traded without this in the past? Yeah, Todd says, oh, I see what I was missing. Like, you heard me say it before. It's like driving down the highway at 70 miles an hour, blindfolded. You know? You have no idea what's in front of you. You have no idea what's coming up. So, okay, guys, do me a favor, please. Hop in your Skype groups. Hop in the Elite Trade Room in the morning when you're in the trade room, say something about it. Please go to our Facebook page, our Facebook group page right now. Post about this webinar. A ton of you are like, wow, this was great. Wow, I got it. Wow. Please go out there and post it. I need everybody else to see it. When people hear me or Daryl say, oh, you got to watch this, they're like, yeah, whatever. But when they hear you saying it, it's like, oh, maybe I need to watch that one. Maybe I need to pay attention to this one. So please hop on there and post for me. It was a good webinar and it was great for you, whatever. Give me a little bit. I'll have the recording out there. Get signed up for tomorrow night's webinar. Hop in the Elite Trade Room tomorrow. Okay? All right, guys. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. We'll see you tomorrow. Have a good night. All right. Bye.